Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through a recap of how I got on with my October art challenge. My original video, I'll link here, setting out my art challenge, but the focus was people. So there were some reference books that I used here, and then I was traveling as well. So there was some work that I did while away. This is one of the reference books, Successful Photography. And it was really helpful in terms of, well, there were people in here, but also it's all about learning photography, so composition and whatnot. So I found it really helpful. I did this one a couple of times, I think. So I'm going to take you through what I actually did. I just also want to take a moment because some of you have been here on my channel for a while, and you will have seen that one of our arty friends from the community, Kilby, she's been here since the very beginning, supporting the channel, supporting me, and we have a lot of Instagram DMs and emails back and forth, setting ourselves personal challenges. And I found out a few days ago that sadly Kilby passed away, and I wanted to let you know because some of you will have chatted with her in the comments of my videos, and I feel like we need to honour her by mentioning her and the fact that she's no longer with us. I will miss her so much because she's always the first one to comment on a video, the first one to chat to me on Instagram, the first one to offer an encouraging word, and she was a really good friend to me. And I'm gonna miss her not being here, but we will carry on, and I'm sure I will do many drawings of flowers and trees, nature. She was very into florals, and I will honour her presence in my life by making sure that I do draw and paint flowers on occasion, and I will think of Kilby every time. But I wanted to let you know the news because I know that some of you have chatted to her in the comments here on my videos, and I should have posted this video on the weekend, but I just didn't have it in me to. But I know Kilby would love some of the drawings in here. She would have laughed, but also told me how well I had done tackling them. So this is the only one I did here. Sorry. This is the only one I did here in my Moleskine sketchbook. This is of David walking away. It's from a photo that we did during a trip we took to Kent in the summer, a research trip. I think that's the only one in here. Yeah, so that's the only one in here. I had mentioned that I wanted to finish off this sketchbook. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have to edit out so much, aren't I? Oh, this is why I've been putting off doing it. Let me bring you closer. So this is my people sketchbook, which you will have seen in bits and parts. So we started off here. I had great fun doing this one. This is from the photography reference book. So this is the first one that I did, using that as a source image, and then I changed it up and I did this one. He reminds me a bit of Boy George in here. Yeah, I don't have words. This one's not really complete. I wanted to do more, but I was working on it quite late at night. This one I really like. I think this is quite quirky and fun. I like his jawline, his chin, and a little blush on his cheeks, and the dog at the front. If I can find it, I could show you the original source image in here. And so that's the image that I used as my reference image. Dearie me. And I think that's all I got up to in this sketchbook. Yeah. And then my little sketchbook. Sorry, I'm also ill on top of being sad, so neither of those are good situations. I think I started this at the beginning, didn't I? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I realised upon opening this that this was only mid-October. I actually had started here first. So this is, you would have seen this sketchbook. I did a flip through of the rest of it, and I'll link that video here. But I didn't actually show you the people drawings in here because I wanted to keep them for this video. This is a drawing of David, my other half, at the beginning, lounging on the couch. We'd been out and I came back and I sat opposite and I drew him. He was watching some silly film. This one I really like. He fell asleep on the sofa. I really like the space here. I'm not sure if I should have filled that in or carried it across, but I was enjoying the space and I didn't want to put anything next to it. This was a bath portrait, a poor bath portrait. It was a quick one with Neo colours. I only took Neo colours in with me, I think, and an indigo pantso. And this is another one of David sitting watching something on the telly. I just combined the two to make it look like the same kind of image. Yeah, it's wrong. Then this was our anniversary dinner. We went to Thai Jasmine and I tried to draw him, but I didn't do a very good job. This was just a random person drawing. Cats, they don't count, do they? Oh, this was a person from I think it was a Lena Moz Patreon reference image of a person standing next to a stand looking out over a scenic view. So I did that. This was David again watching The Empire Strikes Back, and I rubbed out all of the pencil that I put down. That was a Sandy Hester trick. So I used my black wing matte pencil, scribbled it in, and then got my eraser and erased it to make it textured. I really like this. And I think that's it for this sketchbook. And then we have this one, which is from the 15th of October onwards. So this is one of the first drawings I did when I was back home. I actually did this at the bus stop. It's just that it was in a little bit different. This person was over here with her back to me. It was very different to what you're looking at, but I wanted to play with a big blob of shape and then just simple pencil and an interesting composition. So lots of white space, which is something I said about in my self-portraits video, which again I'll link here. That's my November challenge. I said about white space. In this instance, I really appreciate the white space. I think it's quite a nice, simple drawing. Then I was on a bus, and so I was drawing people. I was on the top deck at the front, and so as the bus was journeying along, I would see a person up ahead and I would try to capture them quickly. Someone walking away, someone hiding behind their glasses with a big funnel neck collar. This person was leaning on a wall looking at their phone as we drove past. This person was carrying shopping bags, and this person had a fluoro. He was a workman. I have to go and blow my nose, sorry. And then this was a lady sat at the top of the bus opposite me. I had been traveling out in different directions around my hometown looking for wedding venues because we'll be getting married next year, and this was one of those long, lengthy journeys. And this person was wearing nothing, like this was not what she was wearing, but I took artistic liberty and drew her. This was another person waiting at a bus stop on the way back. This is my dad. He often sits there with his hands on his tummy because he gets a sore tummy quite a lot. And I used Neocolors. I think they were just Neocolor ones that I'd taken with me. I took them in my video Exist Still in the Schminky, kind of repurposed Schminky palette. I'll link that video here if you haven't seen it, the one where I set it up with my Neocolors and things in it. Really enjoyed that. And then the next day I did it with, this is the pink Posca brush pen that I was enjoying using, and then some Neocolor and the pencil that I had lost that I went light fast. The Golden Sunshine, I think it was. I'd lost it a long time ago. I knew I had it and it disappeared, and it was actually under my dad's sofa, buried. Basically, I found it. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's been there all that time. But I really like this drawing. My drawings with my dad make him chuckle out loud. This one I love. Look at that. The expression. So again, it's playing with, like, he was not wearing a green sweater like this, or a bow tie, or stripy trousers. He did have on corduroys, and he had a big fleece on, and it was a kind of turquoisey blue. So I played with oil pastels and trying to create an image using what I had, rather than perfectly matching the local colour to what he would like, the colour to the local colour that he was wearing. I just played with the colours and had fun, and I really love this one. I'm a little bit regretful that I put this in afterwards because there was a tree there, and I was like, oh, and I made it into a kind of character, so it's like, looks stupid. And then I had bought a book in a charity shop of dolls, and I think it was only 50p this book. And I did a drawing of these dolls, two separate dolls, but I made them as if it was an interaction. It's really silly, that one. It doesn't look great. And then this was another one of my dad. We were thinking about chess. I think we were playing chess, actually. And I used the Hematite Genuine, maybe. Can't remember which one it is that I have in my gouache palette. Watercolour palette. But it's the one that really... I can't think of the word, friends. The one that disperses in water. I can't remember the word. Sorry. And then I went on with a pencil colour as well. So he looks like he's thinking, he's got his hand at his mouth. And then this was another bus ride. I was just thinking about textures and layers and letting time pass on a bus ride. This I wanted to turn, I didn't have time in the end, but I've got this page that I pulled out from a local paper, and I thought it would be nice for a crowd scene. So I did this background wash in, I think it's gold ochre gouache. I've got some impressions there. And then this one was at the airport. So I did a background layer of, it's that pen. I don't know where it is now, but it's the one that's orange. This one. It's the Pentel brush pen, and it's really thick and gnarly and textured. And then I went over it with Neocolor, well, it says here acrylic, and then NC1s, but I don't know what acrylic it would have been. Oh, maybe here it would have been the beige, and then I went over with Neocolor ones on top. I quite like it. It's very textured. I need to play around with this technique more. I like the texture here. That's really nice. It's very dark and moody though. And then this was a prepped page that didn't get used. This is another one of my dad. I'm not sure what happened with his face. I clearly put the wrong material down. Yeah, I better put that back there because I think it was oil pastel again. That's probably why, because I had a limited number of oil pastels with me, so I didn't have the right colour. And then this was people on the train. It was an overcrowded train, so people were sitting on arms and it was a bit chaotic. This was a person waiting with his luggage at the station. This was from a photo of my dad trying to move something down the back path at home. And the way he was walking was quite funny. This was somebody at the airport. This was a person on the platform. So these are quick sketches. These are like, let me get some. And this was a prepped background with the acrylic marker that was running out, the yellow. So it's literally a case of grabbing a pencil and just blocking in. That's, the colours are random. Everything is a bit random. This one as well. This was a prepped page with some, I think it's the Sennelier ink pen that I got in Porto last year. This was from a photo, that same book that I showed you, this book that I showed you before. There was a child in like a go-kart, and it was really good up until I put the luminous yellow down for his shirt, and I shouldn't have done that, so I ended up giving up on that one. Oh, this is a farmer man from that book. Love this one. It's the same thing of having ink down in the background and then working on top with a bit of acrylic and then pencils on top. This is a self-portrait of me. I was wearing a jacket that I got in the UK, a vintage one. It's bright red, very not me, it's like a tomato red. And I had taken a photo of me being all like, ooh, look what I've got. And I drew from that. Oh, this is the bath portrait that I think you saw in my video. This is another self-portrait using Neocolor 1 crayons in the bath. This is a drawing of David. He will not like this one. He actually really does like it. Just a 1 pencil drawing. And then this was people I'd drawn from a photo, I think. This, but I'd done it once and then I was like, well, I'll repeat it using different backgrounds and then the same material. So this is CS. This is Don't Light Fast. Oh, this will be Colour Soft. This is the extra soft pencil. This is Luminance. This one is Polychromos. I don't know what she's from. DP. I don't know. See, I don't know. But underneath, this was smudged out oil pastel with my finger. This was, oh sorry, it's not oil pastel, it's dry pastel. Smudging it out with my finger, smushing it out with a paintbrush, smushing it out with a soft tool for pan pastel tools. And then this was a hatched tool. I don't know what that means. But it's 3 different dry pastels, chalk pastels, soft pastels, whatever you want to call them, on the base layer and then working on top of them with different pencils. Better put that back, otherwise it's going to get ruined. Another bath portrait, you've seen that one. This was David reading his book. This is a little girl. Can't remember, somebody shared it on Instagram maybe. I really like this one. I think that might be one of the last ones. This was from that book that I showed you before. I worked negative space. I think it was a continuous line drawing and then I did the negative space coloured in because I liked it. And I just used the Polychromos 157 and the Luminance, I think it's Luminance 246. Yeah, I like that one. That's quite fun. Prepped background that I didn't work on. This is one of David in the garden from a photo because it's too cold to sit outside now. And that was just using colour pencil. And then this is the one that this is the last one in here, I think. And I love this one. That's just David laying down in the snug upstairs, enjoying the space. I wallpapered it for him. So here's a new nice environment to spend time in. And it's the first time that I've drawn him that I'm really happy with the facial features, and it just feels it's a good page to end the month on. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. I know if Kilby were with us, she would be the first to comment and she would have told me that I mustn't be hard on myself, that I did so much in October and I should be proud of the work that I did, and I am. Well, not that. It was a good month for me. And yeah, I'll just finish by saying I'm going to miss her enormously. She's been here since the beginning of my channel, and I just wanted to honour that by talking about her in today's video. So thank you all for being here, and I'll see you in my next video very, very soon. Take care, bye.